Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm a representative for Xylem Water Technologies, Goulds pumps. And today we're going to show you how to couple an ESV vertical multi-stage pump with a motor. We're going to take the NEMA C-face motor and place it on the chair. It can be rotated at 90-degree increments as long as it matches up with the bolts. The bolts are supplied in the bag. On the smaller sizes such as this with the 56C frame, it's going to use a 9/16 bolt, which you put through the holes, and you will tighten using a 9/16 box end wrench as such. You're going to evenly tighten them and then snug them up with the wrench. Once the bolts are snug, we move on to the coupling assembly. As you'll see here, the first thing you're going to pull out is this blue shim fork tool. You will need to keep this for the future. Pull out the coupling pin and these two washers, which are for packaging only. You'll discard those when you're done. Put the pin back in, and then you're going to need to pull this keyway out. It's not used, you'll discard that. Now we move on to the coupling halves. Coupling halves have a hole on the end that goes on the pump shaft. You'll hold that together, you'll feel them fall into place. Then you start putting your bolts through. These bolts on this pump use a 6mm hex key. There's a lock washer that goes on, and then the nut. You finger tighten first, leaving the coupling slightly loose. Move on to the second one. Generally, I go to the opposite one down below, and then I finger tighten that using the washer, and then the nut goes over, and then I turn it finger tight. Again, it doesn't need to be any more than that, as you'll see here in a minute. We do the other two bolts the same way, and again you will notice one side is smooth, the other side has a hex on it. The hex side takes the nut. Take that, put it back over, put the nut, and again, finger tight from the other side. Then we move on to the last one. And again, the bolt goes through the smooth side. The nut goes over the hex end. Put the last washer on. Then the nut. Then from there, you lift the coupling slightly using a screwdriver, and you reinsert the shim tool until it clicks in between the coupling. At that point in time, you start tightening up the coupling halves evenly so that your opening in between the couplings, the gap, is relatively even. And continue doing it at a quarter turn increments until you've got it good and tight. Once you have it tightened, then you pull the shim tool out. And then you can check your work by spinning the coupling and the motor slightly, and it should spin with no resistance. At that point in time, you're ready to put on your coupling guards and install your pump. There's more information available in the IOM that's packed with your pump. Otherwise, we appreciate you considering Xylem Goulds Water Technologies, America's pump since 1848.